Hi.
Hello.
Can't
Hello?
believe we're on the 18th show.
16th.
Well, 18th show. I said 18th show, not the date of the 18th.
I'm being an idiot again. Yeah, 18th live stream, and we are struggling.
All
The
right.
phone's not low. Shut up, phone.
Let you do the video.
Yeah, the phone knows I struggle. So 18th live stream.
Yeah.
We've got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
We have got a few things to talk about. You have to bear with us because it's the BBB tomorrow, and we've been running ragged trying to get everything ready.
Yeah, and everything's upside down and back to front.
Roy Hat's in the office.
Hi,
Hi, Roy. Lovely to see our regulars again.
I don't
Yeah.
need to say hi. I've said hi in the chat. It's working today.
Woo!
Only because I
Cool.
brought my laptop in.
Yeah.
You brought
true.
it in
We
specially.
didn't give up on the iPad.
Especially for you. So we've
Yeah.
got a few things to talk about.
Where do we start?
Yeah, where do we start?
Oh, somewhere. Start somewhere.
Well, first of all, our new ball stretcher crusher is now packaged up, ready to go. So they are flying off the shelves. As soon as we've made any up, they're actually gone.
They're not hanging around.
So we're taking 3 to BBB tomorrow.
Yep.
We've already sold one. Well,
Yep.
we've got one on reserve.
So we've got two
So we've
available
got
tomorrow.
2 available tomorrow. So if anyone's going tomorrow and you want one,
First come,
come
first
and
serve.
see us
Yeah.
ASAP.
Yep.
Because it is first come, first serve.
And the first pictures of that in use are appearing on FetLife now because we've
Yeah.
sold a few. And ooh, is all I'm going to say.
It gives you the heebie-jeebies
It
every
does give me
time.
the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, it's those sort of when you see in a movie when a guy's
Yeah.
been kicked in the, or something's falling on his nuts. So
Oh,
Yeah.
Stop talking about this.
and
sort of
all
thing.
the men in the cinema normally go, ooh.
Yep.
Well, that's exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
That is
So
me in a
it
nutshell.
is.
So today, yeah, it's been full on today.
Yeah.
Making stuff, packing stuff.
And we haven't finished yet.
No, we still got some more to do. BBB comes round once a month, every third Sunday of the month.
Yeah.
We won't be there next week because somebody
Next
is,
month.
Next
next month
Not
because
next.
somebody's going to Disneyland Paris
Yay.
Yeah.
with me. Yay! So that's good. But we're here this month and we'll be there in November.
Yes.
So if you're going to be around, please do pop in and say hi
Yeah.
and have a good look at what we've got.
And the other traders. You know,
Yeah.
it's the
And,
UK's biggest fetish market.
There's nothing
That's
like
it. I mean, there's
3 floors of traders. And it's,
the fact that you've
Yeah.
got so many different traders in one spot.
yeah.
And it's our favourite bit when
And I
people
mean-
come and say hello to us.
Well,
we
Yes,
meet
it's our
people.
day.
There's an entry fee, but it's what, £6?
I think 6 quid.
£6-7
£6,
at the
£7
very
to
most.
get in for the basics, which is nothing to allow you into the market, because it's not just the market. There's also a best dress
Yeah,
competition.
you can dress in your
Raffle.
fetish outfit.
Yeah.
There's just no nudity, but
As
everything
long as you're
else goes.
covered.
Well,
As long
when
as
we
your bits-
say as long as your bits are covered, so we have seen people with just little nipple tassels on.
No complaints
and-
from me.
Well, you were.
You
when
love it, don't you, Stum?
There was
Yeah.
one chap who had literally had a G-string with a very little tiny thing covering his private area.
It wasn't so private.
It was really cold, but
Yeah.
good on him for doing it. But
No, absolutely.
it just goes to show, as long as you've covered up the certain areas, you can wear what you want. So whatever you're comfortable in, you know, it's no hold barred. It's
There
brilliant.
is also the after party,
Yeah.
which is an evening event that takes place once the market traders have packed up and disappeared. And it's 3 floors of hardcore BDSM.
Kink,
Yeah.
basically.
Basically anything goes during that. There are
Yeah.
play areas and there are viewing areas. And you see some things there.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
opened your
Quite
eyes
good.
up, definitely.
Yeah. So what else we got to talk about?
Okay, so we've got a new electrode to show. Can you-
This one doesn't
Uh,
give you the heebie-jeebies,
No, this
does
one
it?
doesn't. Wait, a little bit.
So this is our new dorsal trigger sound holder.
Yeah. It's basically the dorsal trigger on steroids.
Yeah, so basically, our sound holders are a bit difficult because you have to size them for you, and it's not a one size fits all.
Yeah.
These really are. So you've got your dorsal trigger there. So you can attach it to a Lucifer's Ladder or Stairway to Heaven, but you don't have to. It'll also work independently.
Roy Hat says Disneyland Paris is run by the Mickey Mouse outfit. A bit like this place. We're a bit Mickey Mouse-ish.
No, we're just completely Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
We are. I'm just getting something hot off the press.
Okay, so as you can see, it's also a sound holder, which is great. So you can use this for a penis plug. We do the sound holder sizes and the larger penis plugs as well. But it does mean that it's fully adjustable to you.
Yep.
And it is, as I said, one size fits all, which is amazing.
As long as you've got a Stairway to Heaven or a Lucifer's Ladder, really.
Yeah, it does work better.
Yeah. You can use it without, but generally fit it to one of those. So you need to allow a little bit of extra room. So you might need a smaller Lucifer's Ladder, or if you've got plenty of room anyway, you're all right.
Yeah.
Talking of smaller Lucifer's Ladders, just got them off the, literally, hot off the press. The small versions.
They're tiny.
They're good. They're handy because no matter what size you are, you can fit other electrodes. So they don't take up too much room.
Yeah. So we've gone for the shorter ones.
Well, we were asked, so.
We were asked. But it's brilliant because it does give you more options. And if you've got the standard size one and you want one of these, you might need to go a bit shorter, and one of these will work for you.
Yep.
And literally just slot it on like that.
Yep. Use one of the 6mm conductive rubber
to loop through there
so
and hold it in
holds
place.
And away you go.
Yeah.
So it's just add-ons. It's giving you more options, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we try to do.
Yeah. And that's a good example of raw ABS prints.
Yeah, this
and
is
smooth.
Yeah, so these are literally, he's literally just got these off the printers that we've made today. So we haven't even tidied them up.
No, they literally straight off the print bed.
So there's a little bit of tidying up needs doing, which we're going to read.
Could you grab us a smooth one?
Which one?
Any. Lucifer's Ladder, Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of tidying up that's doing, and it needs smoothing, obviously.
Yeah, so that's a raw print. It's dull. You get to see the layer lines, and we go through a 3-step smoothing process using acetone vapor, which we talked about last week.
Yeah, it was last week.
It might have been last week or the week before.
I'm pretty sure it was last week.
You lose track of time here in the kink
Yeah,
cave.
we do.
And we then turn that into smooth.
Into a smoothed one.
Yeah.
So look at the difference.
You might as well lift up the camera so you can see the difference.
Okay. Let me lift them up. So
there's a big difference.
Shiny, smooth, no layer lines.
Shiny, smooth and clean.
Yeah.
And
sealed. So really easy to clean and care for, which is important.
Definitely.
You need to clean your toys. And that's that. So that's good. What else is in the pipeline?
So what we've got in the pipeline now, if any of you have been watching our social media, we've been keeping you up to date.
You poor things.
Well, that as well. Now, you might recognise this little guy. He's not got the steel balls on him at the moment, but it's a new anal electrode that we're thinking of. No, not just this on its own.
No.
This is going to be the inside spine.
Still, you can't get to it.
He's doing stunts.
Sorry.
Oh, the things I do.
He's trying to get behind the camera and the cable isn't long enough.
Science. There you go.
Alright, okay.
Science. Stuff. More stuff than science, actually.
This is what it'll actually... Sorry, I can't.
I'm free.
I have to laugh because it's so funny seeing him trying to do the...
Got old manitis. Grumpy old manitis.
So, this is an example of the steel balls that we're going to be using. We are sort of playing with the sizes at the moment. and each one you're going to be able to operate independently.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great for prostate, for fun. That's the idea.
So that, when it's finished, we'll have 6 electrodes. And you can use any of them, you can use all of them if you've got the capability, enough channels on your box.
Yeah.
But it allows you to tweak how you can configure and everything, and gives you lots and lots of options.
Yeah.
And options are good.
Now, you may lose confidence with seeing this one's broken. Now,
That was me.
let me put your mind at rest. We are going to be having these made in nylon.
Yeah.
By a company in London. So they're going to be super strong. These are just so we can get an idea of the size and measurements when we're doing this side of the planning. And yes, this one was Stumpcock, who got a little bit fun.
That's down to orientation on the print bed.
Yeah.
That one was printed horizontally, so your layer lines are tiny, so it's very fragile. Exactly same material, printed the other way around, and you get all the flexibility. But we're going to be using nylon, which is even more flexible.
Yeah.
And stronger, which is good.
Definitely good. So
Yeah.
that is in the pipeline at the moment. We're going to looking forward to playing with that. Now you might wonder what's going on the outside. Well, this is where the next part of the project is going to come in. Our plans are to have some play with some silicone.
Yeah. So she'd be spending money like it's going out of fashion at the moment.
This stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So this is our plan, and this stuff I'm actually going to be making him do.
Because I like messy
He's a
stuff.
silicone man.
He likes
Yeah.
messy, and because I struggle with hand stuff, it's his department.
Yeah, we're basically using platinum cure silicon and 316 stainless steel for these things. Smooth on are very expensive, but they're very, very good. A lot of the silicon that we are going to be using are FDA approved. Obviously not for insertable because they don't approve it for that sort of thing, but they are all skin safe because they're used in the special effects industry for prosthetics and things like that. So we're going to be experimenting with a number of different types of silicon to get what we want to achieve. So this electrode, for instance, when it's done, is going to be quite a firm electrode, and we need the silicon to be firm to grip the steel balls to prevent anything getting behind it. But it's going to require a lot of experimentation, and that's slow because it's just us.
Yeah, it's a lot of time and
money
and
resources.
Yeah, basically time.
So that if we can get it to work, and we're fairly confident at this point that we can, it's going to be quite amazing.
Yeah.
The other thing is the rocket.
The rocket.
Bum, bum, bum.
That's this. Now this is a very basic first ever
Concept.
concept. Definitely a concept. We're playing with the shape and the size. As I said, this is the first one, and the idea is, again, this will be covered in silicone. It'll have an internal framework because there's going to be, again, steel segments on the side.
Yeah, it's going to be bipolar, and we're experimenting. We've designed some electrode surfaces. I don't know if you can see them on that. Yeah, so this is an electrode surface here. There's one on either side, and we've designed, and we're having them 3D printed in 316 stainless steel, and we're also having some 3D printed in aluminium. And when they arrive, we'll get down to polishing them, smoothing them, and just seeing if it's feasible to use that sort of manufacturing process to make something like this. It's quite an expensive process because we're only doing small batches, but again, if we can get this to work, we can then purchase in larger numbers, and that will drive the price down, which we can then pass on to customers. But being able to 3D print electrode surfaces gives us some quite amazing things we can do, rather than just having to turn things on a lathe, for instance, or use conductive silicon, which we're not going down that route because it's really hard to do. So we've got a lot of experimenting to do.
An awful lot of experimenting to do, and the whole idea of when we got the design finalised it's also planning on having it vacuum lock compatible,
Yep.
which I think most people will like.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you're then looking at E-Stim strap-on play, vacuum machine play, or you just use it. I mean, these ridges are perfect for a handle.
Yeah.
Yeah, these.
It's coiled like a spring, but it's actually really good to
great
hold.
to hold on to.
Yeah.
Or just great if you like the extra texture, if you can take it deeper, and if you're going anally.
Yeah.
You certainly
don't get too concerned about the girth of it. That's just an initial concept for us to play around, but we can do smaller ones.
Yeah, this is just the planning stage.
Yeah, getting all the materials, equipment.
Getting an idea of
There's
what we're
quite a lot
looking
of
at.
equipment required when you're doing platinum pure silicon. When you're looking at degassing, pressure tanks, if you're going to be using pressurized casting processes, and also some of the other materials we're going to be using, like the XTC 3D there.
Stuff.
One of the big problems with 3D printing is layer lines like this. So you can either spend an extortionately long period of time smoothing, sanding, filling, polishing, repeat.
Yeah.
Or you can use a material like XTC 3D, which is a food safe epoxy coating, to coat your master to make it incredibly smooth, and then you make a mould of the master, and then you cast in silicon.
Yeah, so you don't get the layer lines on the final product.
So we're playing around with a lot of stuff at the moment, making a lot of mess, making a lot of waste.
We're going to be making an awful lot more.
Oh yeah, which
a
is
lot
fun.
more.
But if we can get the silicon side of life cracked with platinum pure silicon, it then allows us to do other things like that.
This is something we've been wanting to do for a while.
Yeah.
And you may go, what on earth is it?
Yeah, I do. But I'm just forgetful.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, very.
This is actually a case for, which one was this one for?
That's
again?
for the
It's
Helix,
isn't
Electro
it?
Helix. Yeah.
Yes, so you're saying forgetful. I was
Yeah,
forgetting
no,
which box it was for as well.
So
This one's sized for the Helix.
yeah, this is a master, which we haven't finished smoothing yet, but that will be used to make the mould, and then we will be pouring silicon into that mould to hopefully produce some flexible, impact resistant cases that will clip onto various control boxes. Because we've all done it, you've caught a cable, snagged it, and knocked your control box onto the floor. So this is, think phone case, but for an E-Stim control box.
Yeah, and obviously if we can get it right for the Helix, then we're looking at bigger, more expensive boxes.
We'll probably start off with the E-Stim systems range, so we'll go the Pebble 2B.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the other boxes might fit actually that, and then move on to Electrostim. With the Flux, the EM range.
Yeah. It also helps if it's boxes we actually own, so
because we can measure.
We can measure and actually experiment on them to make sure they fit properly, snugly and safely.
And they work.
Yeah.
But that will be quite nice. Again, if we can get that working, silicon boots to put over your control boxes. Various colours. Well, obviously we're biased with yellow and black.
I was just about to say probably mainly yellow and black.
But we will probably be able to do custom colours. In solid colours, none of this fancy marbling swirling, we're not that good. We are beginners at this. So solid colours only. We're going to start off with, I think, purple, yellow and black.
Yeah.
And then we might red and move on from there. So it's exciting times, but there's a lot of learning involved.
Yeah, there's been a lot of YouTubing going on.
YouTube
on
is your
videos.
Friend.
Yeah, YouTube and Googling.
Yeah, not just for E-Stim live streams, but for useful stuff. So yeah,
how to produce a mould.
I have made silicon moulds in the past for casting resin for other activities, but I've never cast silicon into a silicon mould, and that is really difficult to do when you're dealing with platinum silicon because it will bond to itself like nobody's business. So it's really hard to create a mould for something like that that's so thin, and then be able to apply a release agent to it, so that so that hopefully when you cast your finished product, it doesn't destroy the mould by sticking to it.
Yeah.
So we've got all these trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
to sort out.
And space finding.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's another
We-
problem.
If anyone's seen the walkthrough video of this place when we first arrived, it
God.
looks massive.
It's not now.
It's not now.
No.
It's-
No.
We are outgrowing it quite rapidly.
I think we outgrew it ages ago.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But we're working on it.
Yeah.
And sort of with a bit of shuffling, we make things work.
Roy Hat says looks good. Roy Hat also says belt loop for the 2B. That is something we're looking at as well. We designed a 3D printable one ages ago, but had problems with the catch side because there's no point putting it in an enclosure and have it drop off your belt. But a combination of maybe 3D printed nylon and a soft coating for protection could work quite well.
Yeah.
So that's something we could look at again, but we've got to start somewhere, and we're going to start with this and
Work our way
these
up.
2 electrodes, and if we can get that working,
Then
we can then go into other things, including things maybe like slip-on covers for things like a Mona.
Yeah.
So if you want to isolate part of the head, maybe a boot that can be slipped on and then you reassemble it, so you can focus it on your prostate. So all these little things are ideas we've got at the moment, but we've got to start somewhere, and that's with these, because it's a huge learning curve. None of us have got any experience in this at all.
Nope. Well, you've got more experience than us.
Well, yeah,
two.
I've made a couple of molds for casting some
Which is good,
resin
and
things.
it's why he's been allocated as
It's his
the
job.
silicon guy.
I get the blame.
Yeah, so technical and silicon guy.
Yeah, so what have I
Definitely.
let myself in for?
You can ask us that again after you've tried your
Yeah.
first mold.
Yeah. Well, that's probably going to be about 2 weeks away until we've managed to get everything together.
Yeah.
So the problem we got with this is it's a lot of money to invest up front, so we can only afford to buy things in piecemeal.
Bits and pieces.
We have got a
box.
box with things in, like mixing cups, stirring paddles, release agent,
Modelling clay.
modelling clay,
Colour.
mixing sticks that are also pretty good for spanking.
Don't look at me.
He's looking at you.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, we're in the process of just collating all the kit that we need,
Collecting things.
and then it'll be a case of put some plastic down,
A lot of plastic.
a lot
A
of
lot of
plastic,
plastic.
and get pouring.
Get an apron on.
And I think we'll share what we're doing with our followers,
definitely.
Do a video or something.
Yeah.
fails and all.
Yeah.
And I expect there to be more fails than successes
Yeah.
at the start.
And maybe we need to get you a face mask
Some sort of
for the beard.
some cling film wrap, some sort of cling film or an old pasty plastic case just shoved on.
I'm just picturing a bit purple in there might go well.
No.
Well, you know,
no.
sort of grey-haired ladies always used to go purple.
You're not purple silicon.
Well,
be
grey-haired men could go purple.
Be waterproof. I'm not. These aren't grey hairs. Well, they are. I colour them in every morning.
He does.
Yeah. It takes me ages to get my hair done. Yeah, I'm only 23. I had 2
Same
paper
thing.
rounds, North and South Beirut. It's a rough life. But yeah, that's an insight into what we have been up to.
Yeah,
And what we're doing.
we've got planned.
Next week, the webcam show might not happen
Yeah.
because we might have something on next week coming up.
Life gets in the way sometimes.
Life does get in the way, but we'll let everyone know on
Yeah,
social
we
media
will.
what's going on with that. Roy Hat, it's been an absolute delight
Yeah.
to have you on board again. It's nice that we're getting the same people.
It is lovely. Getting
All I can say, have you got
regulars.
nothing better to do? Because listening to us waffle.
I
has
was
gotta be-
I was thinking more of you. You're not bored stiff of us yet.
No. But we're enjoying doing these.
We are.
Yeah.
It
The
was-
hardest part is working out what to talk
Yeah.
about.
It is.
So again, this is where we need all you lot to help us out.
Yeah.
Leave some comments down below. Like and subscribe and all that YouTube rubbish.
Yeah, that's it.
Or just get in touch with us on Discord, email, through the site, and let us know what you want us to talk about. If there's specific electrode you want us to cover,
Yeah.
let us know, and we can go through that. Because what we don't want to do is end up repeating and doing the same thing
Yeah.
over and
Sounding
over again.
boring.
And you know, it is one of those things that it's quite easy to run out of things to talk about. And
Yeah.
you keep talking about the same
And
rubbish.
then we forget what we've talked about
So we
weeks
repeat
before,
it.
so
Yeah.
we end up repeating it.
And what we're talking about doesn't really matter. What we need to know is what you want to hear,
Yeah.
because we're doing this for you. So let us know.
Yeah.
Send us a carrier pigeon or anything. Let us know what you want to talk about. Stop playing with that banana.
Mr. Banana is part of the team.
Look,
He
it
is part of the
fits. It fits Banani perfectly. Look at that.
It was designed for a banana. YouTube censors. It's banana friendly. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Well, it's the right colour.
It is the right colour. Roy Hat said, only here to see if the studio falls down. Don't joke, because we've now got metalwork.
We've upgraded.
We're upgrading to a bit of metal and a plank. So we're slowly getting better. But it's a case of, do you make your studio posher, or do you just try and improve what you're making?
Yeah,
different
we'd
products.
rather put the money in the products. I mean, to be fair, yes, we've invested in metalwork.
Yes, we
Yeah.
have.
You forgot about the cable ties.
We've got lots of cable ties.
Yeah, we've got lots of cable ties holding things up.
Yeah.
And Stoncox has just done a runner. Oh, I know. So I can see what he's.
Visit the Health and Safety Department.
Okay.
And for Roy Hat,
This is just for
You
you.
have
This-
no idea
this is for
who's
Roy
got what size.
well, I've not got my one.
I haven't got mine.
I look like a drawing pin. I look like a tack.
You've probably got mine.
So yeah, in case we have signs of things falling down, we have PPE. But not that it's doing any good because it's over there on a shelf.
Yeah,
But God, I look weird.
yeah, you do.
You
Normally,
do.
ta-da! Weird, weirder, weird.
Well, no,
Get off.
that's the beard, beard and touch helmet.
Right, well, I think we leave it there before it
Yeah.
gets too silly. Because, oh, thank you. I get all the good stuff.
Of course you do.
So that's us. Oh,
Yeah.
where is it? Where is it? Oh, the subscribe button.
Oh.
Yeah, gotta remember that.
Yeah.
It's YouTube after all.
So the big thing is, if you want to wait for the studio to fall down, like and subscribe
Yeah.
wherever it is down there.
Somewhere down there.
Somewhere down there. Like and subscribe, and we'll see if we can get the demolishing studio going again.
Well, hopefully not.
No.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
So,
Definitely.
thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
all.
thank you, and
Thank
see you again
you.
soon.
Bye.
It's been a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.